I was just a maintenance technician. No military ranking. No heroic badge. Just a civilian contract worker assigned to repair old communication systems in forgotten colonies. Nothing glamorous. Nothing dangerous. Nothing even remotely interesting. Really. And certainly nothing that should have put me face to face with an Aelyri Queen. Yet here I am. And to be painfully clear, I am definitely not trained for this. Beginning 1, the strange transmission. It started with a scrambled distress ping that came through my station's obsolete receiver one night. The message was full of interference, static chewing through every syllable. Still, something in the tone sounded, well, alive. I remember leaning over my console, coffee half cold beside me, and trying to unscramble the signal manually. Repeat, mechanical failure, communication dead, request repair, reward guaranteed. Reward? Now that was interesting. My contract barely paid enough to keep oxygen recycling on my little transport. If someone needed communications help badly enough to broadcast reward promises, I was going to listen. Coordinates resolved slowly through the interference, but once they locked in, my jaw practically detached. The signal originated from Sector 19 Delta, an uncharted region, a restricted region. Humanity didn't go there anymore. It was the old war zone, the border of the sectors once controlled by the Aelyri Empire, a race we hadn't heard from in nearly a century. Most believed the Aelyri were extinct. Some believed they were hiding. Nobody expected a distress signal from them. Yet here I was, staring at coordinates that practically screamed, "Do not approach." I approached anyway. 2. First contact with the unknown. My ship dropped out of FTL near the signal source. The moment was stabilized. An enormous silhouette appeared. Vast metallic wings stretched like a predator waiting in the dark. My transport sensors pinged the structure, trying to identify materials or function. It looked like a ruined orbital fortress. Lights flickered along its spine like dying embers. My ship shook slightly as something pulled me closer. A tractor beam. Soft, gentle, almost polite. Nothing like a hostile capture. And I heard myself mutter, "Well, I guess someone wants their radio fixed." Free, meeting Her Majesty. After docking, I expected guards, weapons, something threatening. Instead, I was met by only a single figure. Tall, graceful, alien, royal. Her exoskeleton shimmered beneath bioluminescent plates, turquoise, violet, silver like shifting ocean waves under starlight. Her golden eyes studied me with intense curiosity. But she didn't look hostile. She looked relieved. "You answered," she said softly. Her English was surprisingly clear, accented oddly, but understandable. I swallowed. "You're Aelyri." She nodded once. "I am Queen Aelyri, last sovereign of the Aelyri Dominion." "Wait, Queen." I suddenly remembered every dangerous rumor humans once whispered about the Aelyri Queens, their telepathic precision, their lethal intelligence, their evolutionary superiority in combat. You don't anger Aelyri royalty. You don't even breathe wrong around them. Yet she looked fragile, thin, almost trembling. "My communication node is broken," she said quietly. "Without it, we are lost." We. So she wasn't alone. That made this infinitely more complicated. Middle 4, why I was really there. She guided me through warm metallic corridors toward her central communication chamber. Everything looked old, abandoned, patched with makeshift plates. Whatever war had happened here had clearly left scars. "How many are on this station?" I asked carefully. She hesitated. "Less than there were." Not comforting. When we reached the radio chamber, I saw the damage immediately. Circuitry melted from power surges, quantum relays fractured. Definitely older than anything human. "I can try," I told her, "but your tech is different." "Different," she echoed faintly. Everything is different now. I could almost feel sadness radiating from her. I set my tools down and got to work. 5. The moment everything changed. After 20 minutes, the main comm panel flickered back to life. Static hummed, still imperfect, but functional. She stepped forward, placing a hand on the console. "It works," she whispered. Her voice shook, not like she was amazed, but like she was terrified. A transmission ping immediately. She tapped a sequence, her graceful fingers dancing over ancient glyphs. A voice came through the speakers, female, young, trembling like haze. "Mother? Mother, is it you?" My heart jolted. "Mother?" Celeria's shoulders dropped in relief. "My daughter." But the moment she tried responding, a violent jolt rocked the station. Lights flickered. Emergency panels flashed red. Not a power surge. A weapon strike. Someone just shot at us. 6. Enemy at the gates. Alarms rattled throughout the fortress. We ran down corridors as security shields flickered to life. A second blast hit. Then a third. Who was attacking us? I asked. She looked strangely calm. The ones who drove us to extinction. The human military. No, her eyes glowed fierce gold now. Something far worse. The old enemy, the Vrakor Dominion, a species even older than the Aelyri, ancient mechanical horrors forged with organic consciousness, built for one purpose: eradication. 7. My terrible mistake. And here was a horrific irony. My repairing her radio exposed her location. The distress signal had acted like a beacon. I didn't just fix communication. I accidentally brought death right to her doors. Her expression stiffened as realization struck her too. She didn't blame me, but she understood. We must secure ourselves now. I opened my mouth to ask what she meant, but metal shutters slammed down over every exit. Glittering energy barriers sealed us inside. We were locked in. Just her and me. Just like that. 8. You locked us in here. I spun toward her, stunned. What? Why would you? We cannot be found, she said sharply. Not by them. Not again. You locked us inside a room together. Her eyes narrowed with a strange softness and something that might have been desperation. You repaired the only device that might save my people. I cannot lose you. She moved closer, alien grace flowing like liquid light. They will come for me, for all Aelyri, unless we survive this moment. Couldn't we escape? We have nowhere left to escape to. My breath froze. Nowhere, meaning she was the last refuge of her species, and I was now part of it. 9. Alone with the Queen. 4 hours of bombardment shook the station. I checked my tools, checked the console, ran diagnostics. She watched silently, like a sentinel fighting exhaustion. Finally, explosions ceased. Silence. The Vrakor had left, temporarily. We were still alive, but we couldn't unseal the chamber yet. If they detected movement, they'd return instantly. So we waited there, together. She finally spoke softly. Human, what is your name? I blinked. Elias. She repeated it slowly, thoughtfully. Elias. I felt strangely honored. Then she stepped closer, too close really. You repaired more than a radio, she whispered. You restored a voice my people thought lost forever. Her golden eyes locked onto mine. In Aelyri culture, saving life requires sacred gratitude returned, equally. What kind of gratitude? Her bioluminescent markings brightened faintly, like she was embarrassed. You shall see. My heart immediately panicked. 10. Her story. We talked. That surprised me most. She told me about the ancient war. How the Aelyri were guardians of information, not conquerors. How the Vrakor saw organic life as contamination. how they hunted her species to the brink. Only a few Aelyri survived by sealing themselves in ancient bases like this one. Her daughter, her heir, was hidden on another fortress far away. That's who she contacted. That's why she needed the radio. Not for herself. For her children. For a future. I wasn't repairing old technology. I was reconnecting a dying civilization. Ending 11. The next attack. Suddenly an alert flashed white-hot across the displays. The Vrakor were returning. Hundreds of ships. They meant to finish the job. They'll kill everyone, I whispered. Yes, she said quietly, unless we do something impossibly reckless. She looked at me. Elias, I need one more repair. She pointed toward a sealed power conduit leading to ancient weapon systems. You must relink the power matrix. That could overload half the station. It must, she said. That is the point. She wanted to sacrifice the fortress to destroy them. You'll die. So will you, she added solemnly. Then what's the point? To protect my daughter. To give my people a future. I stared into her eyes. She was genuinely ready to die for someone else. I've never felt smaller in my life. I started repairing. 12, the choice. When the conduit reconnected, the main core hummed with lethal energy. Explosive heat shook the walls. She moved toward the central weapon control, preparing to overload the entire station. But then the radio crackled. Mother, stop. My fleet arrived. We are here. We are alive. Her eyes widened. Her daughter, alive, rescued, armed. Dozens of Aelyri ships decloaked in the darkness. They weren't extinct. They were waiting. And they came. For her. 13. The battle no one expected. Vrakor ships swarmed toward us, but now the Aelyri armada cut through space like blades of living silver. Their bioluminescent hulls pulsed with energy. Their weapons sang like storms. I had never seen anything like it. Beautiful, terrifying, powerful. The Vrakor faltered, then fled. The Aelyri finally turned the tide. She watched silently, a tear glimmering along her cheek, bioluminescent blue. They came for me, she whispered. No, because of you, I thought. She turned, eyes locking onto mine again. You saved us, she breathed. No, I argued weakly. I just repaired a radio. You did far more, she insisted. Then she placed her forehead gently against mine, a gesture I didn't understand until she spoke. In our culture, she whispered, this binds lives. Bind? What? My pulse stopped. You are now part of our royal lineage, she continued softly. Hold on. Lineage? Royal? Queen. Did she just? I must ensure your safety, she continued. So I will bring you to our homeworld. She leaned close. I will not let anything take you, Elias. My lips parted. Wait, you're taking me? Like forever. She touched my cheek with regal tenderness. Yes. 14. Final transmission. As rescue crews boarded, the communications console gave one final chime. A transmission from her daughter. Mother, is a human safe? Safe. Not present. Not useful. Safe. Like I mattered. She looked at me with something like fierce pride. He is under royal protection, she said into the microphone. He will remain by my side. And then she turned toward me. Eyes soft, expression unreadable, voice almost fragile. You repaired my radio, Elias, but you also repaired something far deeper. What's that? I asked dumbly. She placed her hand over her heart. My hope. The end.